So I said we were going in chronological order. I lied. Sometimes a game is so good, you got to come out of the break with it. And it's the one game at 425 on the East Coast, 125 out here on the Best Coast. And so the whole country is going to be watching Vikings and Packers.
And they should, because it's time for Hot Matchups, presented by Wingstop. The Green Bay Packers, favored by 1.
Ooh, wow.
The Minnesota
really?
Vikings,
Oh,
who are pushing for a chance to play the Lions in the final week of the season for the overall 1 seed in the entire conference. The over-under 48.5. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi on the call. The Packers favored here, Greg. Should they be?
No, but I get it. The numbers all say the Packers are one of the best teams in the NFL. They are now up to 3rd in DVOA. That's total efficiency. That's ahead of the Bills and the Eagles. They're 3rd. They're just behind the Lions and the Ravens. That's it. Since the bye, the Packers, any metric you look at offensively, they're in the top 5. What's different is that they're in a number of metrics defensively in the top 5 and the rest in the top 10. And they really have forced a lot of turnovers without making big mistakes. The schedule has been part of that. And so that's why I say this is a perfect game at the perfect time of season, because as good as the Packers have been, and you can make a pretty good argument, they're one of the best 5-6 teams in the NFL. They want to win one of these games. Yes, all their losses are to 13-win teams or whatever, but it's like they want to win the Super Bowl. So it's a perfect game for them. They're going to be able to rest their starters next week, probably either way, and they'll be locked into where they are. And so go win a game against another playoff team, maybe move up in the seedings, maybe not, but show that you can do it before you take a week off and get ready for the playoffs.
It was very difficult to pick this game. The initial thought was watching how Josh Jacobs and this Packers run game and offense can really execute early, middle, late game. It doesn't matter. But then I just keep picking against the Vikings.
I know.
Because I'm thinking, we're going to get to a moment and Sam Darnold's not going to make the play. He keeps making the play, Greg. He keeps making
But the moment you jump off of that is when they do lose.
Well,
we shouldn't have picked them against the Seahawks. We picked the Seahawks.
That was a mistake.
That was a bad.
Because what happened? It was exactly what happened all season long. The Seahawks showed how good they can be. They also showed how bad they can be in key moments. And the Vikings just continue to execute. And when we forget, like, I know Jamar is about to win the Triple Crown, but like we forget what Justin can do. But Sam doesn't. And he goes to him when he needs to. Like Sam Darnold's averaging like 9 yards, adjusted yards per attempt. He's throwing past the sticks on 45%, not just of his throws on 3rd down, of all of his throws. Like he's not being hidden. Kevin O'Connell's not working some magic. This is just Sam Darnold playing Sam Darnold football.
These are 2 of the best 6 quarterbacks in the league based on how they've played over the last 2 months and based on the numbers. Jordan Love is not in your MVP conversation because the first half of the season matters and he was hurt and all that. And I think about this game the first time around where he was just coming off the injury, didn't look right. They started out slow and they ended up scoring a lot. I think the way to beat Brian Flores' defense, you got to have someone back there like a Geno, frankly, that you don't need. Nate Tice has pointed this out. You don't need to do all the play action that you have a quarterback that can just win by dropping back and throwing some missiles and knowing where to go with the ball. And that is Jordan Love to me. We'll see if he makes big mistakes. But the difference that as good as Aaron Jones looks and he's running downhill and it's a good enough running game, I think he's running very well. I don't think they're as dynamic up front on the offensive line, and I don't think the run game scheme and ultimately just overall, I think this Packers running game is a little bit better. And the Vikings defense is better overall too. So it all evens out. They're very even, and I'm leaning Packers because I feel like they got to get one of these signature wins. They can't just keep losing them.
No,
I don't know. That's a stupid way to pick a game.
No, I don't. I definitely don't think it is. But we saw it late, and Matt LaFleur knows it. He knew it in training camp when it was very limited. We didn't see a whole lot of Josh Jacobs earlier in the season. There wasn't the success, but they knew what he could bring to this team, and that's why they treated him the way that they have this season, and that's why he wasn't playing towards the end, which makes perfect sense. He makes this game and this team different.
Absolutely, and it's a young group. They're up front. Their guys haven't gotten a lot of pop. Zach Tom, I think, is a guy that could be getting Pro Bowl consideration, kind of the star of that group. Elton Jenkins been there for a long time. And then it's going up against this group that Minnesota has, who's blitzing less lately because Van Ginkel's over 10 sacks now, and Grenard has been an incredible pickup, and they're getting home without having to blitz. Josh Metellus has been great. We've mentioned these names before, but last week really pointed out to me, like, these guys have been together now for a minute, and they're all playing at a high level, so you don't want to take them for granted. It's a great opportunity, really, for both teams, and for Tom Brady, in a big spot. If Minnesota loses this game, like, they might not have a chance to get that 1 seed in the final week. So it really does matter a lot for them. Tom Brady is getting slagged on so much. I saw people complaining about him on Christmas, and I was like, that's not Tom Brady. I guess they thought J.J. Watt was Tom Brady or something. I don't even know. They're just like, I'm so probably was just one tweet I shouldn't be responding to, but I saw like people were like, man, get Tom Brady off my screen. I was like, no, he's definitely not on your screen.
Maybe they were watching a different channel. They saw a commercial. Or maybe they were watching 80 for Brady.
Underrated movie. No, I've never seen 80 for Brady, but I support Sally Field in everything that she does.
In all endeavors.